Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. Today on Facebook, I had a debate with some of my friends and colleagues over the issue of the primaries in a general election. The issue was whether or not Bernie supporters should fall in line and support Hillary Clinton. A while ago, I did a blog post explaining why I support the Bernie or Bust movement. And I also did a couple of videos explaining this as well. Some of those videos I took down because of technical difficulties. I recorded those as live streams. So in this video right here, I'm going to explain my position. See, every election cycle, the Democrats try to use the politics of fear to force people to support the Democratic nominee. They always pull out a boogeyman to scare people, to make people think that if the Republicans win, the world is going to come to an end. That if the Republicans win, the sky is going to fall. That there's going to be some kind of great apocalypse. They use this tactic to play on people's emotions, to make people no longer use their critical thinking skills, to no longer vote based solely on the issues and based on who is the better candidate. They make people vote within this narrow confine of Democrats versus Republicans when there are so many other options. They present a false dilemma. They make it seem as if you can only vote for the Democrat or the Republican, and they make it seem like if you don't support that Democrat, you're voting for the Republican. And that's not the case. There's so many different options that people have to vote for. You have Green Party candidates, you have Libertarian candidates, you have Socialist candidates, you have all kinds of candidates. The people do not have to vote for Hillary Clinton. Bernie Sanders supporters do not have to vote for Hillary Clinton. We can vote for our conscience, vote out of our conscience, vote for somebody that we actually believe in, vote for somebody that shares the same values, vote for somebody that takes positions that are beneficial to the people. That's what we can do. See, when people fall into this hopelessness, this situation where they're basically forced to take on groupthink and follow the herd like a bunch of zombies, when they take that position, we end up with corporate Democrats as our nominees. We end up with corporate Democrats as the candidates that we end up voting for. And the problem with that is, while these Democrats scare you about the Republican policies, many of these right-wing corporate Democrats like Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, they often adopt the very policies that the people are so concerned about. We have the example of Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton because she supported many of Bill Clinton's policies. She not only supported them, she lobbied for them, she campaigned for them, she promoted them. Policies that were detrimental to the black community. And I've explained this over and over again, and I will do so in this video. They supported the 1994 crime bill, a crime bill that helped contribute to black mass incarceration in this country. They did that simply by adopting a lot of policies that had been promoted by Republicans, like the whole law and order mantra. They embraced that as their own. Also, they adopted the whole Republican position that is opposed to welfare. So under the Clinton administration, they cut welfare benefits that many poor people relied on to survive. They substantially cut them. Many of those poor people are disproportionately black. That was something that Hillary Clinton promoted. Republican policies that were based on this myth of the welfare queen and all that kind of stuff. Also, they adopted Republican Party policies that encouraged deregulation of Wall Street. By adopting that policy, that helped contribute to the financial collapse in this country. That left many people without their homes, many people with foreclosed homes, many people lost their jobs, and unemployment skyrocketed as a result of those policies embraced by the Clintons. Also, the Clintons embraced trade policies that took jobs out of the United States. Policies that are supported by these corporate parties, both the Republicans and the Democrats. In addition, the Clintons, they supported disastrous foreign policies. And in particular, I'm talking about Hillary Clinton. This woman supported the war in Iraq. Many people talk about how if Al Gore was in office, there wouldn't have been an Iraq war. That's not necessarily true, because moderate so-called Democrats, corporate Democrats, all fell in line and they supported George Bush's war. So for all intents and purposes, there was no distinction between these corporate Democrats and the Republicans, because they both supported that war that was based on a lie. Based on a lie of weapons of mass destruction, based on a lie that there was some kind of connection between Saddam Hussein and 9/11. And as a consequence, you had all these thousands of people killed, thousands of innocent civilians and Iraqi people. You had many American soldiers killed and maimed and injured, all based on a lie. And that is something that Hillary Clinton supported. And this is not just a question of her support for for the Iraq war. This woman also supported military action in Libya and Syria. She is a war hawk. So as people talk about Donald Trump having warlike qualities or whatever, this woman actually supported wars. This woman was actually one of the key people encouraging war. So she is not guilt-free. She is in the same position as many of these right-wing Republicans when it comes to foreign policy. Her unconditional warlike support of the state of Israel is no different from these Republicans. So this is what you get when you buy into the politics of fear. You end up with right-wing Democrats, who in all actuality are like wolves in sheep's clothing. They adopt many of the same policies as these Republicans. And it just makes no sense for us to support such candidates. They just perpetuate an endless status quo where there is no real progress, where there is no progressive change in society. You merely have more of the same when you continue to select these type of people. We should select candidates not based on electability only. We need to elect candidates or vote for candidates based on their positions on the issues, based on their policies, and also their trustworthiness. I could never vote for Hillary Clinton for additional reasons. I refuse to follow the herd again. I refuse to be bullied and intimidated and forced to vote for her out of fear. This is a woman who is not trustworthy. If you can't trust somebody with basic things, how can you trust them with the presidency? This woman has lied about all kinds of things. And, there's an endless list of things that she lied about. She lied about being under sniper fire when she landed in Bosnia, when there was video released of her landing there without incident, with her casually walking on the tarmac greeting people, but yet she wants to pretend like she was under sniper fire. This woman lied about the email issue, um, in terms of her having emails on her personal server and all that kind of stuff. That was exposed by the FBI. So while she was going around the country making misrepresentations, the FBI proved those misrepresentations to be false. So how can you trust somebody like this? I refuse to trust somebody like that. This woman changes her positions based on the political climate as well. She doesn't have any core principles other than power hunger. And this is something, that the Clintons, I mean, that the Obamas pointed out, like during the '08 election. They pointed out how she was about power and how she was deceptive and all that kind of stuff. But now, because politics is what it is, you have Obama saying that she's the most qualified person to ever run for the presidency. So these politicians are full of crap. I mean, I can't understand how Obama and the first lady can support a woman who used the race card and race baiting during the 2008 election. This is the woman who first put out the notion that Obama was some kind of foreign person, that he was un-American, that he was somehow some kind of secret Muslim or something. She was one of the people that put that out there. And the Tea Party and all these other right-wing nuts ran with it. This is the woman who talked about how white voters, not just white voters, hard-working white voters, don't support Obama. Her husband made all kinds of, racial statements about Obama, these covert statements that these liberal racists use. He basically compared Obama's victory in South Carolina to Jesse Jackson's victory in South Carolina, basically dismissing Obama at the time. And it gets even worse. The Clintons questioned his qualifications, his experience. They talked about how, Hillary Clinton basically said that this man, all he brings to the table is a speech that he gave. And he praised upon the Republican candidate at the time, John McCain. She said that he had experience, that he would bring experience to the table, and that she would bring experience to the table, and that all Obama would bring to the table was a speech that he gave. And this woman expects us to believe that she has some kind of love and support for Obama. These politicians are full of crap. They put on airs, they put on a show. They are phony as hell. And Hillary is the phoniest of the phony. And for that reason, I just can't vote for her. I can never trust somebody like her to be in the White House. Now, a lot of the Bernie Sanders supporters keep touting the fact that he made some changes to the party platform and all that kind of stuff. And that is a significant development, but it really doesn't mean that the politicians are obligated to follow that platform. There's nothing preventing Hillary Clinton from taking a different position than what's in the platform. And you got to be prepared for her to change her position because that's what she does, especially going into the general election. You can count on her pivoting and changing her position and adapting to the environment because she is like a chameleon. She changes with the environment. She changes with the seasons. So I cannot and I will not support her. I will probably vote for Green Party candidate Jill Stein. That's probably who I'm going to vote for. I'm going to do some more research and I will do a formal announcement here on my channel explaining my position further. But we have to move beyond fear. I mean, our ancestors did not fight and die for the right to vote so that we could be forced to vote for a candidate who is taking positions that are diametrically opposed to our interests. Our ancestors didn't fight and die for us to vote for candidates solely based on name recognition. Our ancestors deserve better than that. And we deserve better than that. We deserve better than a party that has taken our vote for granted, that exploits us around election time and then discards us after election time. We deserve better than that. We deserve better than a candidate manipulating mothers of slain people in order to score political points. We deserve much better than that. So those are my thoughts. Tell me what you think. I think, before I go, I just want to say that the vote is very important. I encourage people to vote, but I'm just saying that people should vote their conscience. They should vote based on the issues and not based solely on electability and these scare tactics. A vote for a third party candidate is not a vote for Donald Trump. It's not a vote for Donald Trump. It's a vote for that candidate. And that's especially true if you're in a state that's like a Democratic dominated state like Maryland, where Republican presidential candidates rarely win. I can't remember the last time a Republican presidential candidate won the state of Maryland. So my one vote to a third party candidate is not going to turn over Maryland to Donald Trump. And I'm sure that, if there are many others like myself who vote for Jill Stein, I mean, the fact of the matter is the overwhelming majority is going to vote for Hillary Clinton. So please spare me the scare tactics and all that kind of stuff. So those are my thoughts. Tell me what you think about this issue. Please rate, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.